Om Sri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Hi my dear students. Today I am going to explain you. I am going to prove you root 3 is an irrational. So how I am going to prove this? I am going to adopt a method called method of contradiction. Method of contradiction to prove that this root 3 is an irrational number. Let me explain what is method of contradiction. Generally, the students, they didn't give much importance for studies. They give more importance for games and entertainment. And they feel that they can study at the end of the year or at the beginning of the exams, before 1 month beginning of the exams, so that they can pass the examinations. They'll be in that way, they'll think in that way. And generally teachers as well as parents, they used to say that you have to complete your work daily process. Means today's work you have to complete today itself. Then you will feel free to write the exams. But students, they didn't accept that one. They'll follow their method only. And at the end, they come to know that what they thought was wrong. What they thought was wrong, and what the teachers as well as the parents, they said is right. And what they thought, we can study at the end of the year before commencement of the examinations. This was their thinking. We can, before 1 month or 20 days of the exams, we can study all the syllabus and we can write the exams in a well manner. They'll think like that. But when the time comes, they'll feel difficult to complete all the syllabus and they'll go under pressure. And because of that, they'll fail to write the examinations in a proper and well manner. And then they come to know that what they thought in the beginning was wrong and what the teachers as well as the parents said is right. So this is what we call method of contradiction. So here also I am going to apply a method of contradiction. First, I take this root 3 as an irrational number, a rational number. How to prove it? It is an irrational number. Now I will take, in the beginning I will take it as a rational number. And after writing some steps, and at the end I'll come to know that whatever I thought in the beginning was wrong, and then I'll conclude that this is not a rational number, this is an irrational number. This is what we call method of contradiction. So according to my statement, first let root 3 is a rational number. So I can write it as in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Q is not equal to 0. We know the definition of a rational number. A number which is in the form of P by Q and P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0 is a rational number. Moreover, one more point, HCF of P and Q is 1. I'll take P and Q like that. Means there is no common factor for P and Q other than 1. We know that two numbers, if their HCF is 1, we can call them as co-prime numbers. So here P and Q are co-prime numbers because they are not having any common factor other than 1. Once again I am repeating, P and Q are not having any common factors other than 1. They are co-primes. Now, square it on both sides. What we will get? 3 is equal to P square by Q square. P is equal to 3 is equal to P square by Q square. Now from this, what we can write? 3Q square is equal to P square. Then Q square is equal to P square by 3. Q square is equal to P square by 3. Now, see here, there is a statement. You have to keep that statement in the mind. If P is a prime number and Q is a composite number, if P divides Q square, it divides Q also. That is what you have to remember. See here, when we are dividing P square with 3, we are getting Q square. When we are dividing P square with 3, we will get Q square. That means 3 is a factor of P square, and we know 3 is a prime number. 3 is a prime number. That means from this, what we can conclude? 3 is a factor of P square. 3 is a factor of P square. Then according to the statement what I said before, if P is a prime number and A is a composite number, if P divides A square, then it divides A also. Once again I am telling you, P is a prime number and A is a composite number. If P divides A square, then it divides A also. So here if 3 is a factor of P square, then 3 is a factor of P also, since it is a factor of P square. Now, 3 is a factor of P also. If 3 is a factor of P, then P is a multiple of 3. That is, P is equal to some 3x. P is equal to some 3x because P is a multiple of 3. P is a multiple of 3. So then P can be written as some 3x. Okay. Now substitute this value over here. So what did happen? What it will becomes? Q square is equal to 3x whole square by 3. When I simplify it, 9x square by 3. Then 3 goes 3 times in 9. Then Q square by 3 is equal to x square. Q square by 3 is equal to x square. Now you see here, when we are dividing Q square with 3, we are getting x square. That means 3 is a factor of Q square. 3 is a factor of Q square because when you observe this equation, here 3 is dividing Q square exactly and we are getting answer as x square. So 3 is a factor of Q square. Ante kada? Ikkada Q square ni 3, it is dividing exactly and the result is x square. So 3 is a factor of Q square. So according to the law what I said before, 3 is a factor of Q also. Let it be 2. Now observe the equations 1 and 2. 3 is a factor of P and 3 is a factor of Q. So from these two, what we can conclude? 3 is a common factor of P and Q. 3 is from 1 and 2, what we can conclude? 3 is a common factor of P, Q, or P and Q. But this statement contradicts our assumption that P and Q both are not having common factors other than 1. This is very, very important. What we got at the end? 3 is a common factor of P and Q. But what we assumed in the beginning? HCF of P and Q is 1. That means P and Q are not having any common factors other than 1. But here we got 3 is a common factor. So this situation arises due to our incorrect assumption that root 3 is a rational number. So root 3 is not a rational number. Root 3 is an irrational number. Once again I am telling you, here we got 3 is a common factor of P and Q, but we assume that P and Q are not having any common factors other than 1. So this situation arises due to our incorrect assumption that root 3 is a rational number. So automatically root 3 is not a rational number, it is an irrational number. Okay. Now, how the problems will be there in the board exams? That is I am going to explain you now. Okay. See, they will ask you like this. Prove that 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. If it is a 2 marks question, so what we have to do? First, let us assume that it is a rational number. 2 plus root 3 is P by Q. Then root 3 is equal to P by Q minus 2. Then again if we simplify, P by Q, here take LCM, then Q is LCM, P minus 2Q. Now, this P minus 2Q by Q is a rational number. And root 3 is an irrational number. Can a rational and irrational both be equal? No. So this contradicts our assumption that 2 plus root 3 is a rational number. So it is not a rational number, it is an irrational number. This is for 2 marks. Once again, 2 plus root 3, let us assume that 2 plus root 3 is a rational number. And what we got? At the end, root 3 is equal to P minus 2Q by Q. Where we know that P minus 2Q by Q is a rational number and root 3 is an irrational number. Can a rational and irrational are equal? No. So this situation arises, our incorrect assumption that P by Q, 2 plus root 3 is a rational number. So it is not a rational number, it is an irrational number. This is for 2 marks. If this question is for 3 marks or 4 marks, first we need to prove that this is same, but before this we need to prove that root 3 is irrational. Root 3 is irrational. Then afterwards this will continue, and at the end what you will conclude that 2 plus root 3 is a irrational number. Okay, once again I am telling, if this question is for 4 marks or 3 marks, so what we have to do? First we have to prove that root 3 is an irrational number, what I said before. Then we have to take 2 plus root 3 is a rational. Then we will get this conclusion. So this conclusion contradicts our assumption that 2 plus root 3 is rational. So it is not a rational number, it is an irrational number. In this manner you have to write in the board exams if the question is given for 3 or 4 marks. And if it is given for 2 marks, you have to write only this much. Okay. So my dear students, if you understood this video, please share this video, like and subscribe my channel. Dhanyavad.